It's late 2005. I'm pretty fresh out of high school. Booting up the original Xbox, it's time for another installment of EA's NBA Live franchise. It is NBA Live 06 to be exact. It took elements from the previous NBA Live, which was NBA Live 05, and updated everything pretty well. It includes a Play Now mode, modes which include NBA Live Dynasty modes, a custom playoff mode, and the modes made from the popular mode that made NBA Live popular was the NBA All-Star Weekend. That took place in Houston, which has a 3-point contest, a rookie sophomore challenge, and the Rising Stars slam dunk contest. It's pretty much the Sprite slam dunk contest. Now, this introduces the freestyle era in NBA Live 06. Well, NBA Live 05 introduced it, but NBA Live 06 took it to a little bit more depth. Joe Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks has the flame in the basketball icon underneath him, pretty much like a shooting guard on steroids. If you like it, he can adjust his shot in mid-air, depending on what freestyle you had. That's if you hold the left trigger and tap the shooting button. They're still amazing ankle breakers, even though the models are not big and it's life size and have like sweating, going on the face and the arms and the legs. The next generation in NBA Live 06 of the Xbox 360 of the original Xbox version Live 06 is well-rounded, put together basketball game in my opinion. Gameplay wise, as the Xbox 360 version, is almost like they took a step forward, then they took 2 steps back. Now, as you can see in this sequence, we will see Eddie Jones for the Vancouver Grizzlies / Memphis Grizzlies, and you can also see the original Xbox version and the models and stuff. Like I said, they were way more bigger, but in this sequence you can see that the Xbox 360 version is limited with jerseys. Unlike the previous original Xbox version, they had a lot more jerseys where you can choose from. As far as lack of content, the NBA All-Star Weekend modes in the original was put intact. Now for the 360 version, that means there's no slam dunk contest, there's no rookie sophomore challenges, or there's no 3-point shootout. And the game was released, well, the game wasn't released, the Xbox 360 actually was released November the 22nd, 2005. And in my opinion, they didn't have enough time to actually, wrinkle out all the wrinkles in this game. I think they rushed out a project, and it was kind of messed up if you ask me. They should have took that time and made NBA Live 07 on the next generation, which would have been the installment on the Xbox 360 better. But that game was more terrible than NBA Live 06 on the 360. That's a whole nother video for you guys. Now, if you double tap the X button, you can basically do an animation, but it looks all glunky on the 360 version. It looks way smoother on the original Xbox version, if you ask me. Now, I must admit, the Xbox 360 version of NBA Live 06 had a way better intro. If you boot up the game, the actual hoop, the gold, it comes up out of the ground. It looks almost like a Halo type cinematic, place. And there's a way big upgrade from the previous NBA Live 06 where you got like a high school muddy looking gym. Now the gameplay is actually different from the cinematics that you see in the 1-player playing mode. Whether if I practice with Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade, Eddie Jones, it's more fluently in the NBA Live 06 original Xbox version. And this version is not that bad as far as the practicing, but if I switch to the gameplay, you can see how slow down, how glunky, it is terrible. I don't know what were they thinking in NBA Live 06 on the Xbox 360. I guess they wanted you to just look at some eye candy on the the load up stream, because that's the best thing about the game, honestly and truly. The loading up and to play with your players on the mainstream and that cinematic gym or the Halo type atmosphere, that's the best thing that NBA Live 06 had going for it. And it would have been great if they had implemented some of the same things that NBA Live 06 on the original Xbox version. The only thing that I can say, number one, the player models looked more realistic. They had sweat now, and they were a little bit, they were actually a lot bigger. The NBA Live 06 version on the original Xbox had very small characters. They were like little mini-me characters in my opinion. Not even comparable as far as game modes. As far as gameplay, But if you take a look at the visual, it's definitely an upgrade in the department of NBA Live 06 on the Xbox 360. Now, Live 06 on the original Xbox introduced the Superstar Freestyle, which the athlete, like Jason Richardson in the sequence, is kind of cool. You can kind of rewind it back and you can see the freestyle air that he does. Now, the original Xbox version and the Dynasty mode was, I mean, they didn't even like have a Dynasty mode on the 360 version. As you can see, man, you can pretty much just, it's like a little T-Mobile sidekick or T-Mobile My Touch. I don't know what they were going for, but they were going for one of those. And like the Atlanta Hawks, you know, so you can choose hire, you can hire your staff, medical staff. I mean, you can do all this stuff in NBA Live 06 on the original Xbox version. Like I said before, it had way more modes. I don't know what were they thinking of taking all those modes out. I guess they, like I said, they were probably trying to rush the project. They wanted to, you know, they knew that we was gonna jump out of our seats when we seen that first cinematic of the goal coming out of the ground, the hoop coming out of the ground, and that halo type, you know, atmosphere. I mean, it looks like it was gonna be so amazing, y'all. Oh, y'all just don't know the feeling that I had back in the day. Now, this stuff in NBA Live 06 on the original Xbox. Now, if you want to play this game, I recommend you play both of them. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had the perfect game, I would take the graphics on 06 on the Xbox 360 version, and I would just implement the game modes that the original Xbox version have and put them together, and then I would make one great basketball game, because both of them are pretty good games. But I will say, in NBA Live 06, it kind of, as far as the visuals, it gave us something to look forward to in the next generation of consoles. Now, NBA Live 07 wasn't a great game at all. NBA Live 07 on the Xbox 360 was actually a worse game than Live 06. Live 06 was a better game. Now, Live 08 and Live 09, those games, I mean, they were so much better. I mean, Live 10 was probably the best NBA Live since NBA Live 04, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to lie, NBA Live soundtrack for 06, I mean, it gave it back, because NBA Live 04 soundtrack was awesome. NBA Live 05 soundtrack was pretty good. NBA Live 06 soundtrack was amazing. And then it had other game modes, man, like the visual showcase of them doing the slam dunk contest, where they had the split screen and you could like earn points by doing dunks. And it would like deduct points if you would like a border dunk or things such as that, guys. So, man, what do y'all think about NBA Live 06? You know, I want you guys to leave your comments down below. This is one of those games, man, like it was like a benchmark in next gen, because everybody was used to the engine. Now, I didn't play NBA 2K, but I know NBA Live 02 looked it good. 03 looked it even better. 04 took it to a whole nother ballpark, where you can actually have like the crossover, spin moves and all that, because they didn't implement that in like 03. Well, they had like little quick little jab steps, and they had like little crossovers, but 04 took it to another level. But the player models, that's what I want to talk about. They got away from the player models. In 05, they got like smaller and glossier. You know, 04 was good player models. 05, they took a step back. And then 06, it like they got more, they put more in the game, but the player models, they were lacking something. And then 07 on the original Xbox, well, they had that same little engine. I can say they were similar, but they wasn't the same models. And NBA Live 05, 06, and 07 on the original Xbox, you know, it wasn't the same models. They were similar, but I think it's like the models almost kept getting smaller for some reason. I have no idea, you know. Now, guys, I want you guys to leave your comments below and tell me what you think about NBA Live 06 overall. Which version would you prefer to play? And the people that didn't play this game, I want you guys to go back and actually revisit these games and actually play them, okay? Now, it's been your boy, Centel, NBA Live Bolton, and I will be back at you with another video pretty soon. Later, doggy dog.